Hey!
Some encounters become terrifying not because of what people clearly see, but because of what's barely visible in the dark. From a pale figure silently watching children from the woods to a creature screaming beneath a bridge before charging straight toward the camera, these moments left the people filming convinced something was out there with them. But were these just fear and shadows playing tricks, or something genuinely unexplained caught on camera? These clips were uploaded to TikTok by the account WV Paranormal. In August 2021, the uploader's young family was outside in the backyard spending time near the garden when something disturbing was caught on camera. In the footage, the parent calls the children inside for bath time, but suddenly notices something unusual and points the camera toward a group of trees. This is what appears in the recording. At first glance, the image is difficult to make out, but a closer look reveals what seems to be a figure standing among the trees. It appears to be quietly watching the children as they play outside. The next day, the parent reportedly notices the figure again.
Oh my God, nobody is gonna ever believe this. All right, we're going back inside.
This time, the footage captures the same tall and unusual shape standing behind a shed. Its face looks smooth and gray with no visible facial features. The family has no clear explanation for what they witnessed. They cannot tell whether someone was trespassing nearby and observing the children, or if the figure was something far more unsettling. What do you think was happening here? And how would you respond if you noticed someone or something watching your family from a distance? In June 2021, TikTok creator Clax Attacks uploaded the following footage, and it has continued to disturb and confuse viewers ever since.
The hell is that?
Hey!
Here's the clip. The video appears to show a large, upright figure slowly moving across the creator's yard.
The hell is that?
Hey!
The uploader's dog can be seen reacting cautiously while watching the strange shape from a distance.
The hell is that?
Hey!
The footage left the TikToker unable to explain exactly what he had witnessed, and viewers immediately began debating whether the figure was an intruder or something far more unusual. Several days later, Clax Attacks shared an update describing the experience in more detail. According to the uploader, he looked over and noticed the figure stepping out from behind a swing set and emerging from the woods. It then moved toward a nearby truck before disappearing behind it and returning to the tree line. He explained that the figure appeared brownish-red in person, and despite a nearby streetlight, he expected the camera to capture the image more clearly. He apologized for the poor quality, mentioning that zooming in at night often distorts footage on most phones. He also stated that he had not seen the figure again, and hoped he never would, since he still could not determine whether it was a person or something else entirely. Whatever it was, it appeared large, and the fact that it had been standing in his yard left him deeply unsettled. Since that night, the figure has never reportedly returned, and the uploader remains uncertain about what he actually captured. Viewers in the comments have suggested many different explanations, ranging from a Wendigo to a ghost to even a possible skinwalker. Skinwalkers are mysterious entities connected to Navajo folklore. They are often described as individuals who practice dark rituals and possess the ability to transform into animals or imitate human forms, sometimes using those abilities to deceive or lure victims. Very little information about them is openly discussed, as the Navajo community traditionally avoids speaking about such beings with outsiders. So could the figure seen in this footage truly have been a skinwalker, or is there a more ordinary explanation behind what was recorded? Share your theories in the comments below. Few individuals are as strongly associated with extraterrestrial claims as Stan Romanek. Romanek has long stated that he experienced repeated contact with aliens, including alleged abductions, telepathic communication, and even claims involving hybrid children. This footage is presented as evidence of one of those encounters. According to the story, Romanek had fallen asleep at his computer late at night, while his stepson was having friends over for a sleepover. Sometime during the night, something suddenly woke him up. Still disoriented, he initially thought he saw one of the children running through the house unclothed. However, after checking upstairs, he found all of the kids asleep in their rooms. Just as he was about to stop looking, he noticed something disturbing standing near the sliding glass door. This is what the camera recorded. The figure visible in the doorway closely resembles the type previously described throughout the video. It appears to have gray skin and large, dark, almond-shaped eyes, features commonly connected to the traditional alien image seen in popular culture. The figure remains completely motionless, even while being filmed directly. So, what do you think? Romanek continues to claim that he experienced direct encounters with extraterrestrials and believes this footage supports those experiences. Over the years, the video has been examined by multiple analysts, though opinions remain divided on whether the footage is authentic or staged. Our first segment today has fueled online discussions over whether creatures resembling werewolves could actually exist. In May 2022, a Reddit user named Segwen shared a photograph that appeared to capture something highly unusual. The image came from a motion-triggered game camera attached to an 8-foot perimeter fence surrounding the Amarillo Zoo in Texas. Taken during the early morning hours, the photo seems to show a two-legged figure standing near the right side of the frame. The figure appears furry and displays canine-like characteristics, yet it is upright and seemingly walking on two legs. Because of those features, some Reddit users quickly speculated that the image might show a werewolf. The concerned groundskeeper later uploaded the photo to Reddit, hoping others could help explain what had been captured. Reactions were divided. Some viewers strongly believed the figure looked like a werewolf, while others remained skeptical. Several commenters suggested it could have been a raccoon, while others believed the image might simply show debris caught against the fence. To this day, no clear explanation has been confirmed for the figure seen in the photograph. Unless more evidence eventually appears, the strange image remains an unsolved mystery. In 2017, Callie was filming a brief update for social media when she later noticed something strange appearing in the background of the video. Watch closely and see if anything unusual stands out. When the footage is slowed down, several tiny dark shapes can be seen moving rapidly through the grass. They almost look like small meerkat-like figures darting across the yard. Callie explained that the shapes appeared like black, shadowy forms, and she could not identify what they were. The video quickly spread across Facebook, gaining more than 1 million views and drawing hundreds of comments from viewers attempting to explain the strange figures. Some people suggested the shapes might resemble little people. In Native American folklore stories exist about a small race of beings believed to live deep within wooded areas often near rocky hillsides, sandy ridges, or hidden creeks. They are commonly described as playful but mischievous, sometimes singing or calling out from concealed locations to confuse travelers passing nearby. Although many consider these beings to exist only in legend, a burial site reportedly discovered in the early 1830s in Coshocton County, Ohio, was said to contain skeletons measuring only around 3 feet tall. So could this footage actually be evidence supporting the legends of little people? Or is there a more ordinary explanation behind what Callie recorded? Share your thoughts in the comments below. In this disturbing clip, a strange, shirtless figure can be seen moving across an open grass field in an unnatural way. Its unusual manner of walking immediately frightens the people recording, who quickly begin calling it a skinwalker. The footage cuts off before any clear explanation is discovered, leaving viewers questioning what
was that?
He walked creepy.
Dude, that was a skinwalker. What?
Follow him.
I videoed it. What the?
whether this was simply a person moving strangely or something far more unsettling captured on camera. What begins as an ordinary late-night walk quickly turns disturbing when roughly 10 minutes and terrifying screams start echoing from beneath a nearby bridge. Curious about the source, the person filming pulls out a camera and moves closer, unaware of how dangerous the situation may actually be. As he nears the darkness beneath the bridge, the screams grow louder and seem much closer. The moment he turns toward the sound, he is confronted by a twisted and unnatural-looking figure, instantly triggering panic and forcing him to run. In another unsettling clip, someone walks alone down an empty road when the sound of a snapping branch reveals that something may be watching from the nearby woods. Near a light source, he suddenly spots a figure staring directly at him before it drops onto all fours and crawls forward with terrifying speed. In a separate encounter, a man taking out the trash hears strange noises. Nearby, investigates and quickly realizes the voice calling out does not sound human. Later, another lone walker encounters a gray, animal-like figure moving unnaturally through the shadows, leaving him frozen in fear before he finally flees.
Hello?
Whether these encounters were caused by fear, mistaken identity, or something far more sinister remains completely uncertain, leaving behind one unsettling question: what happens if whatever is following you eventually catches up? How do you explain something like this? Late at night, a strange figure appears outside a house, at first looking almost human. But a closer look reveals unusually long arms and a distorted shape that feels deeply unnatural. Whether this was a person, an animal, or something far more disturbing remains uncertain, leaving behind the question of what was truly standing there in the darkness. This video looks completely ordinary at first, but only moments after the lights come on, a strange figure briefly steps into frame before vanishing again. Some viewers insist it was simply a dog, though the movement and timing seem unusual enough to create doubt. Was this just something harmless passing by, or something far more unsettling accidentally caught on camera? Skinwalkers are often described as witches, capable of taking the form of animals or even humans. In this footage, a strange figure appears unusually tall for an ordinary person standing completely still while holding onto a pole. Whether this was a ghost, a camera malfunction, or something far more unsettling such as a skinwalker remains completely unexplained. This disturbing footage captures two glowing eyes and a large arm appearing beside a tent on a security camera during the night. The campers reportedly only noticed the figure afterward and were not harmed. Whether the figure was simply an animal or something far more unsettling remains completely unknown. Can anyone explain this? Inside an abandoned building, a strange, four-legged figure can be seen lying completely flat and motionless, clearly not behaving like a living animal. Without any warning, its neck suddenly stretches outward, twisting in an unnatural way before going limp once again. Even after being struck, the figure shows no visible reaction at all. If it was not alive, then how did it move on its own? And what caused such a disturbing motion? A woman calls out to her cat, but when it turns around, its eyes glow brightly in the darkness. As lightning flashes nearby, its face briefly appears disturbingly human. Whether this was simply lighting camera distortion or something far more unsettling remains a mystery. This clip is reportedly filmed inside an abandoned house in Japan, where an urban explorer begins what appears to be a normal investigation. The footage starts quietly, revealing decayed rooms and heavy shadows stretching across crumbling walls. Moments later, the calm is shattered when a pale, disturbing hand suddenly grabs the edge of the frame, reaching toward the camera before disappearing back into the darkness. As the explorer continues deeper into the building, scanning broken furniture and scattered debris, the camera briefly captures something even more unsettling. A shadowy face watching silently from a doorway with hollow-looking eyes and long dark hair barely visible in the darkness. The figure suddenly pulls back and disappears the instant the flashlight reaches it, leaving the abandoned house silent once again. Whether this footage was an elaborate hoax, a trick of lighting, or something genuinely paranormal remains uncertain, raising the question of what else may still be hiding inside places long abandoned and forgotten. A video appears to show a skunk ape moving through dense forest, its large hairy figure partly hidden among the trees. Poor visibility makes identification difficult. Was it a known animal or something unexplained? An adventurer searching for mushrooms deep in the forest captures a terrifying moment when a sudden piercing scream echoes through the trees. The sound continues for several seconds before abruptly cutting off with no visible source anywhere nearby.
Take a walk over there, and there's one over here. Looks like it's holding some water.
Disturbed by the intensity of the noise, he quickly leaves the area. Strange sounds can travel and intensify in dense woods, but was this simply wildlife making a call, or something far more unsettling hidden among the trees? A hiker records disturbing footage deep in the woods after noticing a tall, gaunt figure moving silently between the trees, with some viewers comparing it to a wendigo. Its thin body and strange movement make the sight difficult to understand. Was this simply a misidentified person or animal, or something far more unexplained? A video recorded in Florida appears to show a Bigfoot-like figure crouched behind a tree, partially blending into the thick forest around it. Moments later, the figure stands and moves through the trees before the footage suddenly ends. Poor visibility makes the details difficult to verify. Was this simply a known animal hidden in the woods, or something unexplained captured on camera? This video shows a man hiking through a narrow canyon near Highway 15 when he captures unsettling sounds coming from the surrounding woods. Loud, crashing noises are followed by powerful screams that continue for several seconds before he decides to leave the area. Sound can travel unpredictably through canyon environments, but was this simply wildlife echoing through the forest, or something far more difficult to explain? A rare video filmed in Tokyo Bay captures a goblin shark in high-definition slow motion showing its jaw extending outward during a bite, before snapping back into place. Deep-sea behavior like this is rarely recorded, but other creatures still remain hidden beneath the ocean's depths. A man riding horseback through a thick forest captures a tense moment when his horse suddenly freezes and snorts nervously. Looking farther down the trail, he briefly notices a strange figure before it quickly disappears behind a tree. Animals often react to danger before humans notice it, but was this simply wildlife triggering the horse's behavior, or something the rider couldn't clearly identify? A clip recorded in Kendrick Woods appears to show a dark, heavy figure sitting completely still within a tree, partially hidden among the branches. The unclear shape makes it difficult to identify. Was this simply an animal concealed in the woods, or something far more unexplained? A dash cam video filmed during the early morning hours of May 30th, 2024 captures a truck driver arriving at a remote industrial location near the Sunchild First Nation, northwest of Rocky Mountain House in Alberta, Canada. While positioning his truck to load equipment, he steps outside and suddenly notices a massive, upright figure standing near the edge of the site, something he had not seen moments earlier. Alarmed, he quickly climbs back into the truck and drives away, as the dashcam briefly records the figure in the background. Believed to be between 11 and 13 feet tall, the sight left the driver deeply unsettled. Darkness and distance can easily distort size and perception, but was this simply a mistaken object, or something the camera captured too briefly to fully explain? This video captures another strange and unsettling moment as an adventurer records footage deep in the rainforest and spots a mysterious creature standing in the distance. The small figure appears somewhat dog-like and continues watching him as he films the area. Distance and poor visibility make the details difficult to confirm. Was this simply a misidentified animal or something far more unusual hidden among the trees?
That's it for tonight. Which moment creeped you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story? Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.